An odd stench, combined with the moist atmosphere, assaults my senses. I opened my eyes to be met with the sight of a concrete wall. There are cracks all over it, trickles of water pouring down them. During my head, I'm greeted by Mr. Cutou's smile. Oh, now I remember. Goat tried to raid the net cafe, then he appeared. Sharp pain runs through my chest the moment I spring up. Person I've spent all these years searching for is sitting right in front of me, smiling. Every single thing I've wanted to ask him crams right into the tip of my tongue, leaving me speechless. Try to establish contact with Rain through a chant. Can't connect to her though. Finally noticed the belt around my neck. Not just that, but something sticking into my neurojack. Seems like a jammer of some sort. Won't be able to dive or hack into anything as long as it's on. So basically, I'm fully cut off from any sort of network right now. That's actually a bit worrisome. The net is pretty much a sixth sense for second gens like me. Just then, something comes to mind. Something Nanoha was about to tell me. Sounded like she was about to admit something in relation to him. Anger swells up in me. Not just at Nanoha for hiding it, but him for dragging her into all this. Someone grabs me from behind and pulls me away. I turn to see a big burly guy. Did that say Dominion? Dominion soldier. Interesting. Yeah, did you not see this motherfucker, like, burst into a building, dual katanas taking out fucking goat soldiers? You think this man can't handle himself against one injured guy? He answers with respect. I notice he's wearing a pendant with an inverted cross, and the tattoo on his arm is of the same symbol. That's Dominion symbol. Taps my shoulder like he always used to, and then we set off. The two of us make our way down the dark, narrow corridor. Mainly because I was one of those parties. He probably knows that too. Yeah, please. I let out a stiff laugh. Crap, I need to calm down. Otherwise I might actually flip my lid if he says something that triggers me. He stops for a moment, then directs his gaze toward me. No shit. This isn't a possibility I'd consider, but I might as well ask. Wait, what?
施設から人払いをするのが偽の爆破予告の目的だったと。
I kind of figured that was the case. So they evacuated because of a bomb threat, and in that time someone snuck in there. But if that's the case, didn't Sora and Rain go there to talk to Rain's father, right? They had both gone to the Institute. If there was an evacuation notice, why were both of them there? Well, no, that's the thing. Rain wasn't at the Institute at the same time Sora was, right? Because if Rain had been there at the exact same time as Sora would, Rain would have been melted too, if she was within the same vicinity. So Rain had gotten away, had left the Institute already. Rain was whatever distance away she was. So that once again, if we believe Kurihara here, right? Gotta put that big if in there. But if we believe him, that really makes me rethink a lot of things. Because he's saying 15 minutes prior to the nanomachine incident, something happened. There was the bomb threat that caused an evacuation notice. So that means if Rain had been there, she would have been evacuated as well. Or like it's possible she got there and they had already been evacuated. So she like contacted her father asking where he was, and he said, Rain, you gotta get out of there. Don't be there right now. There's a threat, and Rain left. So then the question becomes, why was Sora there when it happened? That's the question.
そうだ。そして、あえてこの日を狙ったあの日、統合軍将校と
I nod in silence.
私は彼らの前でアセンブラのデモを行った。しかし、どうして将校たちが視察を？アセンブラの目的は環境再生じゃなかったんですか？彼らはアセンブラの軍事転用を考えていた。ナノマシン兵器としての機能を実現できるように期待されていた。
Besides, I saw that they fled back. Sora melting before my eyes. The ruins after the blast.
そうやってナノ推進派の議員や軍人たちに媚びを売らねば。
苦渋の選択ってわけですか。理想追求のためには仕方。そして今は苦渋を飲んで違いますか。
君の非難はもっと私もあの場でアセンブラの誤った可能性を提示してしまったことだが、もっと恥じるべき人物なそのものはアセンブラに危険を感じ、完成前に破壊しようとしたのかもしれない。未完成のアセンブラは無害な物質に過ぎないからな。もぬけの殻となった施設に侵入し、アセンブラを盗み出そうとして。
科学者のくせに推測が多すぎますね。逃亡生活が長すぎてパラノイアにでもなっている。
あるいはそうかもが、当日の議員、軍人たちの行動には不審なものが感じられるのだ。デモンストレーションの後、視察団の一部はその中には今のゴート長官もいた。彼らは開発計画に否定的な人々だった。おそらくは完璧に動作するアセンブラを見ても、不安や危機感しか感じなかっただろう。
Which would make sense. Okay. That still raises questions as to why Sora was there. So, like, the head of Go is Rain's father, and we know that Rain's father is very anti-AI because of what happened with his wife. So that makes sense that he'd be like, oh, here's assembler, it's working perfectly. And he's like, yeah, fuck you. Anyway, I'm leaving. So he's saying that they left before there was even an evacuation notice, right? Which, if that were the case, it would make sense why Rain then wasn't like evacuated with the rest of the people on an evacuation notice, right? If her father just up and leaves, either she got there and had a chance to talk to him before he left, or she got there and he was already gone, so she's like, lost cause, go home, right? But then why was Sora still at the Institute when all this happened? That's the biggest question. If we believe every aspect of Koreada's story here, why was Sora still at the Institute when everything happened? Because everyone in the Institute, that Institute had been cleared out 15 minutes prior because of an evacuation notice. Unless Sora's the one who sabotaged it? That'd be an interesting revelation. Because now that I think about it, right? He said someone did it to, like, sabotage it in some way, or maybe steal it, right? Maybe steal assembler or try to destroy it completely, and it caused an incident. If everyone in the Institute had cleared out, then the only conclusion I can then draw that the only reason Sora would still be there at the Institute is if she was either A, the perpetrator, or B, colluding with the perpetrator who sabotaged it. Right? That's where my mind goes.
一方、残りの者たちも満足して施設を去っていった。その中には市長になる前のアナもいた。会話は盗聴されている可能性がある。ちゃんとで我々は逃亡と潜伏のためドミニオンの力を借り、その代償としてだが我々はドミニオンを欺こうと考えて、彼らには破壊兵器と思わせておき、我々は消されるだろうが世界は救われる。だからその前にナノハ君を連れて逃げてくれ。
そうだったんですか。
I'm not sure how much I should believe, to be honest. Yeah, true. First, we have the idea that the leak back then was the result of someone else's plot. And see, that I can believe. That I can believe. To believe that Koreada wasn't involved at all? Not quite. I don't believe that. But to believe that, you know, what happened was someone else's idea, I can believe that. And there's the idea of him looking to betray Dominion to right a previous wrong.
つまりアセンブラはドミニオンはアセンブラを使おうとしているんですか。
すでに観察して追い詰められたドミニオンが
It'd be so easy if I could just take everything he says at face value. I can't, though. That's why I stare at him, trying to figure out what to do.
すぐに信じてくれと言っても無理だろう。
He gives me a firm nod, then sets down the corridor we came
もう
from.
一つ、空は一体あの日研究所で何をし
ストラ君のことは本当に残念だった。私も詳しいことは知らないが、視察団の誰かと個人的に親しかったようだ。さすが顔の広い娘だな。
確かに誰かと会う約束。
空君は施設を退出した後、施設周辺の封鎖によって取り残されてしまったらしい。あと少し彼女が帰るのが早ければそこに取り残されることはなかった。あるいは遅ければ我々と共に施設を脱出できたはずだ。
What? Wait. What? She could have. So she left the Institute before there was an evacuation notice. But she didn't notice people evacuating. Did y'all evacuate underground or something? So there was an evacuation notice. No, bring up the backlog. Let me. The area around the facility was sealed off at the time, so she got stuck after leaving. So why did it get sealed off suddenly? If there had been no evacuation notice, why did it get sealed off suddenly? Because it was unsealed at one point, because clearly Rain got out of there, because Rain went with her to the Institute. And he's saying if she had left quicker, she would have gotten home just fine. So that means at some point it got sealed off prior to the evacuation notice, which would mean prior to the bomb threats. So why did it get randomly sealed off then? She left before there was an evacuation notice based on the bomb threats, but she did not leave early enough before they sealed off the area surrounding the facility. That's what I just don't understand. Why would it get sealed off? Unless someone on the inside knew something was coming, right? Someone on the inside knew something was going to happen and sealed it off preemptively. And so they must have evacuated underground then, right? Had like some kind of like underground train or something, underground tram station or something. Some way to get them out of there without going above ground. Because if it was sealed off, how the fuck did they get out of there, right? I don't know what to think about all that. I don't know what to think about all that, man. That's not the expression of a liar. Or at least, I don't want to believe it is. Saying that he sets off once again. Whatever I choose to believe, I want it to be by my own judgment. Just like Nanoha. Call out to him one last time. He stops in his tracks.
あの時、ナノハも研究所にいたんですか?
Okay. And that's why she has so much faith in it then? She witnessed the demonstration and saw it perform flawlessly? Because we did know that Nanoha was already outside the city when Grey Christmas happened. We had that piece of information. So it's not too far-fetched to think she was with the evacuees and that she was already, outside of the city by then. His footsteps gradually disappear into the distance. Oh, that's the end of the whole chapter right there. Just interaction with the professor. Okay. That definitely was the professor chapter. You got that right. So what now? I'm greeted once again by the dreary underground scenery upon waking up. I think it's been about 3 days since I was locked up in a hideout underneath Suzushiro.
ナノハ、どこだ?
It's only after asking that I realized she was using chant to speak to me. She has to be pretty close by, yet I can't see her. I have zero intention of blaming her. Both him and Assembler mean the world to her, after all.
別に俺が知ったら先生に何をするかあるいは問い詰められるのが怖かった。違うか? ごめん、私全然強くなれてない。十分強いさ。ごめんね。
Her sobbing continues for a while. Not only did she get caught up in that disaster, she was left with nowhere to go and no one to rely on. Even still, she did her best to push through it all. Yet there I was, running about fighting others without sparing a thought for her situation.
本当に怒っていないから 俺の気持ちはキスした時と全く。
ありがとう、本当に。ありがとう。
I can picture her wiping away her
そ
tears.
んな話より、
こうも先生の話を聞いたんだね。
まあ
やっぱりこうは先生の話を信じられ
Not entirely. Not entirely. There's still doubt in my mind. There really is. Like, I'm not trying to play a bit here or anything. There just genuinely is doubt in my mind that he's entirely innocent of what happened. I just struggle to believe that. There's too much, like, mystery and intrigue surrounding this man for me to not think, like, no, there's something more to you. There's something more to you.
な、信じたいよ。
No doubt that I would blindly put all my faith in him if this were back in the day. Really, though, he struggled against all odds, completed Assembler, and now he wants to trick Dominion into letting him save the world. It's exactly the sort of thing a protagonist in some space opera would pull off, or, more accurately, a superhero. The fact that I'm suspicious of it probably proves that I'm not the pure kid I once was.
そうだよね。こうが素直に言うことを聞いたのって。
おい、それは千夏か空が言ってたセリフだろ。あいつらは先生を狼狽させた数少ない問題児だ。
あの二人は本当に元気だったもんね。
She finally laughs, even if there's a hint of sadness about it.
なあ、菜の葉。
いいの？私に会ってくれる？
当たり前だ。よかった。
わかった。じゃあ後でこうの部屋に行くから。
You can almost feel her blushing from here. Just a shame I can't enjoy the sight myself. Either way, I might as well get some more rest until she comes over. Chapter 10, Childhood Friend. She sure is. I run on a path in Minami Osaka looking for my childhood friend.
ここにいなかったら最悪だよな。
She disappeared without saying where she's going. Can't really say she ran away from home, but it's close. Okay, so this takes place after she saw the results of whatever exam she took, and then she ran away. She did it because she failed the exam and saw me date Chinatsu. Shit, it's my fault. I look around my childhood hometown, quickly find the place I used to live. Nanoha's home is right next to it, and she's just standing there, looking like the loneliest person in the world.
菜の葉。
来てくれたんだ。
She talks without even facing away from her front door.
ああ、ここに来ているのかと思ってな。
ここを知ってるのはこうだけだもんね。
I stand next to her and look at her side profile. She looks so desolate it almost hurts. The door isn't that far, but it feels like she's looking at the distant
ご
horizon.
めん。みんな心配してた？
まあ、寮に戻ったら多分俺の吊るし上げ大会が待っているよ。
ごめんね。迷惑かけて。
謝るなよ。迷惑とも思ってないし。
We stand side by side and stare at our old homes. It's an odd feeling. The scene is familiar, but the aura of their everyday life is completely different.
不思議な気分だね。風景も何も変わっていないのに。
ああ、俺も同じことを思っていたよ。
バカだよね。ここに帰ればお父さんやお母さんがそんなわけないのに。本当に。
She bites her lip so hard it's almost bleeding. Her hands are in fists so tight you can see her veins.
わかるよ。俺だって。
Gently pat her head. Her silky hair slips through my fingers. Large tears form in her eyes. She starts sobbing.
もう怖いよ。私本当に怖い。私世界で一人ぼっちなんだよ。
菜の葉。
何？
I let out a mumble, still half asleep, only for a kind voice to respond to me. The sight of Nanoha appearing into my eyes is the first thing I see when I wake up.
もう来てたのか。
Seems like I ended up falling asleep while waiting for her. Soldiers keeping an eye on the room are all gone
気
too.
にしなくていいよ。こうまた夢を見ていたの？
ああ、
The look in her eyes is slightly different compared to how they were in my dream. Something strangely comforting about that.
とね。
もう謝るな。どっちかといえば、今は俺が謝りたい気分だ。
どうして？
お前が家出した時の夢を見てたの。
そっか。こうが追いかけてきてくれた時の。
We ended up discussing the events of that day for a while. I've never seen her scared.
どうしたんだよ。今のお前は一人。
I notice the dried tears on her cheek. Makes me cut my words short. Why is she so...
殺されちゃったんだ。
She says that like she's tired, rather than sad.
お父さんとお母さんの乗った車バラバラだった。お葬式でも何も見せられないぐらいだったよ。
そんな。
Right. They died in a terrorist attack. Not as unfortunate casualties either. They were the targets. Finding out like this has me speechless. Nano looks at me with a half-angry, half-sad gaze.
Nanoha!
Seeing her like this is unbearable. I embrace her tight. She sobs into my chest, crying new tears to replace the dried ones.
お父さんもお母さんもみんなのために頑張ってた。どうしてああなったんだろうね。
She forced herself to follow in her parents' footsteps. She was as weak to loneliness as ever, and she never spoke a word about her parents.
ごめん。気づいてやれなくて。
そんなことも。
俺的にはまだ笑えない思い出なんだけどな。
There's still a hint of sadness in her smile, but seeing it in person again feels good. It's proof that, despite everything, she's managed to move on somewhat from the pain she felt back then.
俺って成長してないよな。
超能力者じゃないんだもん。気づかなくたって当たり前だよ。私こそごめんね。全然成長してないよね。
The more we speak, the less reserved we
多
become.
分私こうに変なとこ見せて嫌われたら一人ぼっちになりそうで。
相変わらず一人は怖いのか。
だから今までずっと怖かったよ。
She gazes up at me with longing eyes. Seeing that, I reach out and pull her in gently with a hug.
これで多少は安心したか。
ものすごく安心。
All the tension flows right out of her body as she says that. That strange sense of comfort I felt before visits me once more.
こうにこうしてもらうと不思議だよ。
ああ。
Following that, we hug even tighter. I can feel my heart thumping in the midst of it.
あの時はありがとうね。あの時こうの胸で思いっきり泣いたから辛い現実でも過ぎた思い出に変えられたんだと思うの。
そりゃ胸を貸した甲斐があったな。
I'm not used to hearing her say stuff like that. Now she's made me feel a bit shy.
こうが親友でいてくれたから。親友でいてくれてよかった。親友のままいてくれればいいと思うはずなのに。
Mood changes almost instantly. Nano's half-teary eyes are peering into mine. And then, as if we'd suddenly become magnets attracted to one another, our faces draw close and closer together. Once again, our lips make contact.
友達なのに
嫌か。
嫌じゃないから。
The concern just makes her look even cuter, which prompts me to kiss her again.
ねこう
She poses a question in between breaths at the moment our lips separate.
私を慰めてくれるため。
Are you just trying to cheer me up? Ma'am, come on now. You could put blind faith in Koreana, but you can't put some blind faith in me that I'm doing this for more than just trying to cheer you up. Come on. Your best friend? Can you give me a little benefit of the doubt here? Maybe there's a bit more to it than just like, yeah, here, let me cheer you up with some... Like, he gave you tongue action before. We know that. He straight up gave you tongue action before. You're like, oh, it's just my bud trying to cheer me up. Like, nah.
お前。
Yeah,
どう
right?
思ってキスしてると思ってるんだ。
These guests are just like, oh, it's gonna make my best friend feel so happy. It's totally some really platonic shit. Best friends do.
ちょっとブサイクなチビとか。
God damn. Sweetie, no. For one, ma'am, some people might get mad at you for using that word. I'm not gonna make a big stink out of it, but like, I'm just saying, be careful who you use that word around. But also, 5 out of 10, girl, you're not 5 out of 10, alright? No. Come on, let's be honest. Like, you're not Aki or Chinatsu, alright? Those are like, 10 and 9 for me, right? But it's like, 5 out of 10, girl, Okay, now I gotta think. Now I gotta think. Like, just going off appearances here. Clearly, that's what she's judging herself on. We're going just off of appearances. No, I'd throw her an 8. I was thinking maybe 7. Like, no. I think she's worthy of an 8. I think she's a solid 8.
お前のことをそんな風に呼んだのはガキの頃のいじめっ子ぐらいなもんだろ。
Fuck him. Seeing her get like this just pulls at my heartstrings even more. So I cast aside my own shyness and whisper into her ear.
可愛いと思ってるよ。でなきゃキスなんかするもんか。
Well, that's a cute smile. Whispering to her ear causes her face to almost turn into a tomato. It's like that meme of like pictures before and after calling someone beautiful. Like,
何照れてるんだよ。
another kiss. We gradually make our way through the process that Chinatsu so kindly cut off the other day. The smile on her face makes it apparent how happy she is about that.
そんなに嬉しかったのか。
だってやっと可愛いって言ってくれたんだもん。少なくとも再会以来初めてだよ。
Seeing her smile fills me with
だ
joy.
ったらもっと言ってやらなくちゃな。
もういいよ。
可愛いな。
Her face, defying all logic, somehow grown even redder, so she tries to hide it. I won't let her, though. I want to see her face, so I place a finger on her chin and push it up.
意地悪。
Her voice is getting more ragged. I can see her bright white teeth while she whispers to me. Our tongues lock together as we continue to kiss. She sticks her tiny little tongue out, trying ever so hard to wrap it around mine.
まさか
たく、俺がお前を一体どう思ってると思っ
単なる手間のかかる幼
て思ってたかもな。けど、
けど
やっぱりお前ずっと手元に置いておかないと安心できそうもない。
そうしたいなら
She takes a deep breath.
私そばにずっと一緒こうが大好
She gazes into my eyes, her lips quietly trembling. She seems like she'd burst into tears at the slightest surprise right now. That side of her just makes me love her even more, though.
俺もきっとそうな。お前がこんなに可愛いのは。
That line makes her breath catch in her throat. She latches onto me, burying her face into my chest.
愛してる
The floodgates in my mind are torn open the moment she says that. Pouring forth from them is nothing but pure pleasure. Such an incredible sensation that I lose focus for an instant. Leaving myself to it, I pull her closer and hug her with everything I have. That leads to me making contact with something soft in the process, though.
あっと。
Quickly pull my hands back, panicking like I've suddenly become a student again. Nanoha reaches out to stop me as I pull back, though.
なのか。
Her hands are trembling and sweating like mad. I can feel her heart going wild through them. Doesn't stop her from pulling my hands back to her chest, though.
私こうにキスを教えてもらう
あ
だからもっといろんなことを
That's some phrasing. You could teach me some other stuff. Looks like she's hit her threshold for embarrassment. Now she's just staring at me, hoping I catch on.
じゃあ他人でいるのをやめちゃうか。
こうがそうして
The nerves in her expression are finally beaten out by a huge smile. We pull each other closer, exchanging another kiss. Yeah, no, very, very sweet moment, I will say. See, that's... I like them scenes where there's like genuine romance in there. It's nice. I will say, very nice scene. Compared to like what we saw like with Rain and whatnot in the previous scenes, like sure, Rain scenes like, oh yeah, they were scenes all right. I don't know, that felt more like genuinely romantic than anything that happened with Rain in the previous route. I'm just saying, just especially given like the thoughts that were running through each other's minds, what they were saying during it. The like as far as the scene goes, and this is only like the first scene. I'm sure there's gonna be another one at some point. But yeah, no, definitely better.
ありがとうこれで思い残すことないよ
だから縁起でもないこと言うんじゃない。
I bury her face in my chest. We just sit there for a while, doing absolutely nothing. That time feels so oddly precious, though.
でも初めてがこんな場所で残念
Yeah, right, in an underground bunker.
場所なんて
Also true.
どうでもいいよ。
She gives me a quick, frank answer.
だから私ものすごく幸せだよ。
Damn it, girl, why is your nipple popping up when you're in the corner? Don't make me do extra work, damn it. She seems aware of our current situation. We're not stuck in any ordinary place. This joint belongs to Dominion. The only reason they're treating us half decently is our connection with Mr. Kurihara. Who knows when Goat are going to bust in here guns blazing. Speaking of busting in, I mean, there is no guarantee that we'll make it out of here alive. That's why she's being as brave as possible.
ねえ、今日は
God damn it,
こ
girl.
こで寝ちゃっていい？
Quit standing at the side. Face forward so your nipple isn't in the goddamn screen.
いいけどお前ももしかして。
研究所の先生たちと一緒のみんなすごく可愛がってくれるからけど。
わかった。何日でも好きなだけここにいろ。
ありがとう。
With one blanket shared between us, we cuddle together until we fall asleep.
私ね、白いドレスを着るんだ。それで大きなケーキを用意してね。
We were on the road back to school. Nana was talking about becoming a bride. It's a very girly fantasy, suits her perfectly. But I was a huge brat, so I didn't like listening to
お
it.
前結婚なんかするのかよ。
でも、こうだって結婚はするんでしょ。
しないよ。
どうして大人になっても結婚しないの？
Yeah, I actually said I'd never get married. I was pretty mature, if I do say so myself. I was still a brat, but I'd already given up on ideas of family and marriage like some cranky old man.
ねえ、どうしてなの？好きな人が見つかっても結婚しないの？
しないんだよ。どうして菜の葉こそ結婚なんかしたがるんだ。
どうしてって。
この先世界はどんどん悪くなる。子供なんか作ってもいつ世界が滅びるかわかんないんだぞ。
そんなことないよ。
それに男は親父に似るんだって。だから俺が結婚したら絶対に子供に寂しい思いをさせちゃうよ。
ならないよ。だってこうはきっといいお父さんになるし。
とにかくしないったらしないんだよ。
だったらこうおじいさんになっても一人。
It was rather obvious that Nanoha was worried. However, cranky brat that I was, I couldn't bear having anyone look at me like that, so I went and said something I didn't actually mean.
お前だって人のこと言えないだろ。
どうして？
菜の葉はナノの学者になるんだろ。だったらやっぱり子供は菜の葉と同じで寂しい思いをしちゃうんだぞ。
God damn.
それはないもん。
するよ。
でも私は
Before I knew it, Nanoha was crying. That was when I realized I went too far.
ごめん。菜の葉のお父さんやお母さんは井戸菜の葉だって。
だったら
Normally, she would have started crying loudly, but instead, she just silently shed tears, looking profoundly sad.
一人ぼっちがずっとやっぱり大人になっても
Sorry to see her like that. I actually felt apologetic.
私想像しただけで寂しいよ。
That's why I made an absurd
そ
promise.
うなったら菜の葉が結婚できなかったら俺が寂しくないように一緒に暮らしてやるからさ。
じゃあ結婚しなかったらずっとこうが一緒にいてくれるの？
ああ、結婚しないならだから泣くなよ。菜の葉は一人ぼっちにならないよ。
本当に約束だよ。
Since that day, Nanoha never spoke of her dreams of marriage again. Felt like I destroyed her dream, but I was far too young to know how to make up for it. So I started spending even more time with her than before. First thing I hear upon waking up is the comforting sound of someone sleeping beside me. Said person is Nanoha, who's curled up into a ball and cuddling me. Seeing her like that helps me process our current situation, how we're more than just friends now.
菜の葉。
I can't help but brush my fingers against her hair.
好き。
Her small pink lips quiver ever so slightly as they utter my name. It causes me to go in for the kill, almost on instinct. Unsurprisingly, kissing her in her sleep causes her to stir. God damn it! Y'all ain't fucked anymore. Get your goddamn titties off the screen. You're making me do work. I don't like it. She throws her hands over her mouth. Her face is red as a tomato.
あのね、一体何を？
ああ、いや、なんとなく。
なんとなくっ
Her hands shoot up to cover her face this time.
何してるんだ？
私すごいことしちゃったよ。
Seems like she's in the process of dying while remembering last night's events. I mean, like, you acting like you did a lot of freaky shit. You got ate out and then did some missionary. Like, y'all didn't do much freaky shit. Like, I know that's definitely a lot for, like, Nanoha, maybe. Like, you know, very timid girl and whatnot. Like, getting ate out and then some missionary is probably like, whoa, whoa. But it's like, I don't know. Y'all really didn't do too much.
だな、
Oh, girl, you ain't seen dirty yet. Uh-oh, she's going wild. Now I'm starting to feel nervous.
頼む、落ち着け。
Saying that, I move in close and gently wrap my arms around her.
もしかして。
God damn it, no! Quit turning! Face forward, face forward. Get your nipple off the screen.
してたらこんな風にならないよ。
She casts her eyes up at me while speaking, her face still as red as ever. I can feel my own cheeks getting flushed. We can't help but indulge ourselves in another kiss. What a way to start the day. God damn it!
こんな感じだよ。
Put a fucking shirt on.
こんなことになっちゃって。
俺だってそうだ。菜の葉の初めてをもらっちゃうなんて。
Who would have thought I'd be the one to take your first time? Who the fuck else would?
もう私たち幼馴染の友達じゃいられない。
She seems a bit concerned.
もう俺たちって恋人関係なんじゃないの？そんなに呆然とするなよ。恥ずかしいの俺だって我慢してるのに。
You know what would help you not feeling shy? Putting some damn clothes on.
ごめん、呆然とするぐらい嬉しかったからつい。
She shoots me a smile, yet her eyes are still tearing up.
あそこまでして、それでもまだ何か足りないのか？
だって今日はまだ肝心なこと言ってくれてないもん。
What the fuck is the most important thing? He said he loves you. And it wasn't just like you said I love you and he was like, yeah, same. Like he straight up said it back to you, right? Like I don't know what the most important thing could be. What's the most important thing? She's sulking, but I can see the glint of hope hidden in her eyes.
とりあえずセフレから始めてみませんか？照れくさいからふざけただけだ。若草菜の葉さん、俺と付き合ってくれませんか？
Oh, it's just asking her out? Really? You gonna be that specific about it? He says he loves you, and you're just like, okay, but you never actually asked me out, so, like, we're not really a couple, so I'm like, girl. Okay. Tears well up in her eyes again the moment she responds.
だからいちいち泣くなって。女の涙が苦手になったのは多分お前が理由だぞ。
だってこんなに嬉しいの生まれて初めてかも。
だったら泣くなって言っても無駄か。
キスしてくれたら。
I hear her request, then move in and lock lips with her. How many more times will I have the pleasure of sharing a kiss with her? How much longer will I get to hug her for? Unease begins to course through me, even so to make me want to enough so to even make me want to scream. I can tell that we're both thinking the same thing. Cool. If y'all just jump into another sex scene, great. I can just cut that out. Quit throwing your nude model up on the. As long as you quit throwing the nude sprite up on the fucking screen, that's fine. If y'all want to go at it again, by all means. As such, there's no hesitation in our next course of action. Awesome.